Guys, Theresa May is going to face a vote of no confidence from the Tory MPs. All right, UK Prime Minister Theresa May faces a vote of confidence in her leadership later after 48 of her Conservative MPs called for one to be held. Now, this isn't something I'm crazy familiar with because we don't have a vote of no confidence here in the United States. Why don't we have that, Ron? Because we'd never elect anybody if we did. Because we are given the shittiest of the shittiest of the shittiest choices ever. All the time. We are given two right-wing choices all the time. Our oligarchy doesn't reflect the people that live here. It just doesn't. Am I implying that everyone that lives in the United States is a progressive? No, of course I'm not. I know that's not the case. But we are a far more progressive country than we're given credit for. We are way more into the ideas of populism than we're given credit for. That's why Donald Trump won, because people thought he was an actual populist outsider. He's not. But our system's so broken that people were swindled by a plutocrat billionaire. And guess what? It might happen again. Michael Bloomberg's on the rise. Resistance! So if we actually had a real vote of no confidence, nobody would ever get elected ever. But you know what it would lead to? Less shitty choices. Is England perfect? Hell no. Do they have their issues? Yes. Do they have a better system than us? Hell yeah. Do they have better choices than we do? Yes. There are issues where the Tories, which is the right-wing party over there, is to the left of the Democrats. Healthcare being one of those issues. The Tories are to the left of the Democrats. Their right-wing party, to the left of ours. Our quote-unquote left party. And again, it's a right-wing party. We have two right-wing parties. And we only got two. With power, we got two. So that's why we can't have nice things like a vote of no confidence. Moving on. All right, but a defiant... All right, so she's fighting this thing, Theresa May is. She warned a new prime minister would be faced with the choice of delaying or even stopping Brexit. Now, a majority of the Tory MPs said that they will back the PM, so they'll be backing her. So she has a lot of support from her party, but she doesn't have all. In fact, some of the attacks are even coming to her right. So far, 174 Tory MPs have publicly said they will vote for her, with 34 publicly against. According to BBC Research, she needs to secure the votes of 159 to survive. So what has she said? Well, in her statement delivered early Wednesday morning, Mrs. May said, a leadership election would not change the fundamentals of the negotiation or the parliamentary arithmetic. Weeks spent tearing ourselves apart will only create more division. Okay. Will there be a new prime minister if she loses the vote? Not immediately. She would be expected to stay on as a caretaker prime minister until a new conservative leader is selected by the party, a process that could take up to 6 weeks. So her party gets to have somebody to replace her. It's not as if all of a sudden there's just another election. So let's see. Now, Labour is calling on her to quit or hold another EU referendum. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn said the time for dithering and delay is over. The Prime Minister has negotiated her deal. She has told us it is the best and only deal available. There can be no more excuses, no more running away. Put it before Parliament and let's have a vote. So there's a little graph here. So vote of confidence. This is the way it works. Now, if Theresa May wins, then she's safe for challenge for a year. If she loses, stage 1. Each candidate needs 2 MP proposers. So 1 candidate, 2 candidates, 3 candidates. So if they have 2 or more candidates, if they have 1 candidate, then, well, that's the leader, right? Because they only have 1, and that person becomes party leader and prime minister. Now, if they have 2 or more candidates, well, then they got to vote. And if they have 3 or more, they, lowest vote eliminated until 2 remain. So that's how it vote. You get 1, then the person's in. If you get more than 1, then you vote accordingly. So if she gets the vote of no confidence, they will still elect a new conservative leader. However, what this shows is disarray on their side, disarray within the Tories. So I feel like over the long scheme of things, this would be a good thing for Jeremy Corbyn and his ilk. However, this does not just mean that he's just going to be prime minister right away or anything like that. That's not what this means. For anyone that's not crazy familiar with the mechanics of a vote of no confidence, I'm not. We don't have that in the United States. I'm not crazy familiar with it. But, you know, if anyone thought that that just meant, hey, Jeremy Corbyn, that's not what it means. But it's an interesting process. And something I wish we had here in the United States, or something similar to it.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and